Hello everyone. So if you recall last week in the last video, we went over select statements and insert statements in the database series, and as well as how to initialize databases, at least inside this software that I'm using called DB Browser for SQLite. And today we are going to look through more of those select statements, except maybe a little more complicated. So if you remember, a select statement has three clauses or like three arguments. You can understand it. It's the select, from, and where. And select is basically specifying what you are selecting. From is specifying what database or like what table you are selecting it from. And where is just like a conditional statement, and which specifies only select the items if they satisfy some sort of condition that's specified inside the where clause. So we're going to look at more of that. So if you remember, we had two tables with a bank table and sort of like a citizen database table, maybe with their citizen IDs and their names, and also their IDs along with their balances. Because in this world, they record stuff by people's IDs, because if they use their names, then there could be duplicates, and that would be complicated. And in this case, the ID is the index of the relational system, because it doesn't repeat, and it is a unique identifier that can be used to tell the database, or in general, just know which relation you are selecting. So let's go over to execute SQL. So let's just do a quick review. So say you wanted to select all the names from the people database. So you do this from people, and there's nowhere. So the three clauses we went through. So in this case, we're selecting the name from the people table. So let's try this, and yeah, it does indeed select the name, and just ignore this. This is like the built-in index for this software, and it's different from the index that I use. You'd see if there was an index here. And if we wanted to select the index as well as the name, then we'd do something like this. So select both the ID and the name from the people database. And we can see that, yeah, there is the index in the result now. We have selected that. And if you wanted to just do select all, you could do this. So select all. Obviously, since there are only two columns inside the table, select ID and name, and select asterisk does the same thing, but this does do select all. You have to take my word for it. And let's just do one with the where statement now. And we can actually select values from multiple different tables. So let's try that now. So let's say we wanted to. So let's look at our tables. In the bank table, there's a column called ID and one called balance. And if we look at the people table, there's one called name and one called ID. So let's try to select the names and the balances from the bank and the people. Oops. I literally cannot type while I'm talking. From bank and table, let's try that. So okay, we can see that we have a bunch of names and we have a bunch of balances, except we don't exactly have the expected result. So we have Bob with $20, Amy with $20, and everybody else with $20, and the same thing with the all the other different balances in the table. So this is because they've just selected all of the names from the bank table and matched it up with every possible balance from the people table without any consideration of like whether or not they correlate. So they're not actually checking whether or not they're correlating. They're just grabbing all the names and grouping them with the balances from the people table. So if we wanted to filter out all of this stuff, we can So let's think about this. So inside these two tables, the unique columns are the balance and the name columns because they're not shared between the two tables, but there is a column that is the same between these two tables, and that's the ID or the identifier. So we can basically match the names and the balances together through their IDs because the ID is the same throughout both tables. So let's try to do that now, where bank.id. So in this case, we have to specify which table that we are trying to select a column from, because the ID name is shared between the bank and the people tables. So we have to specify that it's bank.id. Equals, and we can do both 1 equal and 2 equals. I think it's not picky about that, and we can do people.id. So we're only selecting them if they share the same ID, and we can see that yes, it does indeed grab the names and the balances without any weird results. So we can also have multiple conditions within the where clause. We can do that with and with another. So say we wanted to grab all the people with a balance less than $50. So maybe the bank is trying to, give like a special deal to people with. That doesn't sound realistic, but anyways, let's try that. So where bank.id equals people.id and bank.balance, or we don't have to specify bank.balance now because there's only one balance column inside every table, inside all of the tables. So, and balance is smaller than, let's do 100. Okay, so we can see that the person who had $200, which was Craig, or was it $200? Yeah, $200, which was Craig, I think. He is no longer inside the results. So we can see that this condition does actually apply with all of the results. So that's all for today, and bye.